In case you're able to hear, in the background, we're playing The Rites of Strings, which is an amazing, can you see that? Yes. The Rites of Strings, which is an amazing CD. Stanley Clarke, Al Di Meola, and Jean-Luc Ponty. Heroes all. As promised in part one, today we're going to talk about how books evolve, or at least how my books evolve, how my stories evolve. And I mentioned we were going to be using Empty Sky, and we are. So here's the 2016 published version of Empty Sky, which comes out to 333 pages or so. Here's the 2023 version of Empty Sky, which comes out to closer to 500 pages. Let's see if we can do this side-by-side comparison. Put them in front of the camera, Joseph. There you go. This is the 2016. This is the 2023. Part of the size difference is due to we put in different things towards the back. We put in about the author, about Northern Lights Publishing, which is the publishing house we use, and blah, 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 blah. Part of it's also when I published the 2016 version, I thought it was a good story, but I knew, to me, it had issues and problems. And it was wonderful that no reader ever commented at such to me, and none of the reviews ever said, wow, this book sucks. But I knew I could do more and better. However, at the time, I just wanted to get a book out. It was self-published. And also, as far as I'm concerned, I was not that good a crafter. I had a good story to tell, but I did not have the ability to tell it as well as it could be told. So some of you may know, I took 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 25, 35, 95 years to learn the craft of writing. I took classes, I read books, I had a mentor or two, talked with editors, so on and so forth, and practice. I still practice daily. I'm still in the process of learning. There's a lot more for me to learn. I don't stop. But anyway, there were things in the 2016 version which I knew I could have done better. And one of the things that just a second, I'm very curious. I noticed that in the 2016 version, oh, we don't have a listing. There's a bunch of chapters. Obviously, there's how many chapters are there in the 2016 version? Let's find out. There are, if I'm counting this correctly, 43 chapters in the 2016 version. Now in the 2023 version, there are 58. You wrote a bit more. Anyway, let's start with the beginning. Very beginning, 2016 version. This is how it started. Chapter 1, The Moon. The moon pushed up from the horizon through the oaks and maples which dominated Michigan's Upper Peninsula forests. Her white-slippered feet pressed against the acorns and seedlings, casting little moon shadows upon the cold, mist-covered, late October land. That's a nice, adequate opening for a book. It's atmospheric, that's for sure. We have a character immediately up front, the moon, who is a character in the story. We have a place, a setting, Michigan's Upper Peninsula. We have all sorts of sensory information. Oaks, maples, white-slippered feet pressed against acorn seedlings, moon shadows, cold, mist-covered, late October land. Very interesting. Here's how the 2023 version starts. Chapter 1, The Cabin. Jamie woke to Shem's tail thumping his legs. The big golden retriever sat at the edge of their bed and stared out the cabin window. It is purely a matter of choice which of those two you like. From a crafting standpoint, the second one, the 2023 version, is better. One, because Jamie is the main character of the entire novel. He was the main character in both novels. And it's always good to let the reader know who the main character is as soon as possible, so they'll know who owns the story. And that's a phrase I use fairly often, owning the story. What I mean by it is which character is going to undergo the most change from beginning of story to end of story. Whose story is it, essentially? And in this case, Empty Sky is Jamie's story. So we have Jamie waking up, and that's an homage, if you will, to Dragon Riders of Pern. The first line there is Leah woke cold. Lessa woke cold. Susan just corrected me. For those of you who don't know, the lovely Susan. Susan just corrected me. Lessa woke cold. Incredible line. Why? Because it's short, it's sweet, and everyone on the planet has woken up. Most people on the planet have been cold. So you have a sensory experience with a physical experience. Wonderful. Leah woke cold. Readers are there. They've had those experiences. Good. Lessa woke cold. I edited Anne McCaffrey's book. Nobody told you. Anyway, so Jamie woke to Shem's tail thumping his legs. Okay, so we have the main character, Jamie. We also have pretty much the second primary character, Shem. His tail is thumping his legs. You know, if you're going to be a stickler, you don't really know who Shem is yet, but okay. The second line, the big golden retriever sat at the edge of their bed and stared out the cabin window. Okay, if you know anything about a dog's tail thumping is usually a pretty good sign. They're not barking or whining. And he's sitting at the edge of their bed, stared out the cabin window. He's staring out the cabin window. What's the dog looking at? So there's the hint of something about to happen or come or do. There's a little bit of tension. There's tension there. Let's go back to the 2016 version, the 2016 version opening, which is the moon. Moon pushed up from the horizon through the oaks and maples which dominated Michigan's Upper Peninsula forests, her white slippered feet pressed against the acorns and seedlings, casting little moon shadows upon the cold, mist-covered late October land. The moon has a role, is a character in Empty Sky, but not the main character. The moon does undergo change, but not as much as Jamie does. And also, there's no tension. There's no reason for the reader to keep on going. It's a statement. Okay, big deal. Yep, the moon's walking around. That's enough for today. Next time, we'll continue with what other changes occurred. By the way, I should also let you know that between the 2016 version and the 2023 version, there were, I think, 5 or 6 versions in between. The 2016 version is, I believe, version 14 or version 11. It might be. The 2023 version is version 17. So there was a lot of rewriting and crafting going on, and should you ever pick them up and read them, I hope you enjoy them. More next week. Take care. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. Looking for the end key here. How do you stop recording? Oh, there we go. Bye.